The observation deck of the galactic research vessel Zenthra hummed with nervous energy, as dozens of alien scientists crowded around the holographic display. They were watching something that defied every principle of xenobiology they had studied for centuries. On the surface of planet Karvik 7, a human female named Lisa stood face to face with what the galaxy had classified as an apex predator, a creature so dangerous that 3 different civilizations had abandoned their colonies on this world rather than coexist with it. Harrison, Lisa's research partner, watched from the safety of their landing pod, his heart hammering in his chest. "Lisa, get back to the ship," he whispered urgently into the communicator, though he knew she wouldn't listen. She never did when curiosity took hold of her. The creature before Lisa was magnificent and terrifying in equal measure. Standing 12 feet tall on powerful hind legs, the Carvexian razorback possessed rows of crystalline teeth that could shear through starship hull plating. Its 6 eyes glowed with predatory intelligence, and its scaled hide shimmered with an iridescent purple that warned of the toxic venom coating every spine along its muscular back. According to galactic records, nothing survived an encounter with a razorback. Nothing. Lisa did something that made every alien observer gasp in their respective languages. She smiled, not a nervous smile, not a smile of fear masking terror, a genuine, warm smile that crinkled the corners of her eyes, the kind of smile humans reserve for something they found beautiful or endearing. Commander Vexither of the Zenthri Science Fleet felt his 3 hearts skip simultaneously. Is the human experiencing a neural malfunction? He demanded. Someone activate the emergency extraction protocol. "Sir, she's moving closer," his subordinate whispered, all 4 of his eye stalks extended in disbelief. Lisa took a slow, deliberate step toward the razorback, then another. The creature's massive head tilted, confusion evident in the way its spines flattened slightly. In all its evolutionary history, prey had always run, always. This small, soft creature with no natural weapons or armor was approaching it voluntarily. Harrison wanted to scream, to rush out and pull her back, but he had learned over their 2 years of partnership that Lisa possessed an almost supernatural understanding of animal behavior. Still, this was insane even by human standards. "Hey there, gorgeous," Lisa said softly, her voice carrying a melodic quality that seemed to cut through the tension. "You're not scary. You're just misunderstood, aren't you?" The razorback made a sounded deep, rumbling vocalization that registered on the ship's sensors as a threat display. Lisa didn't flinch. Instead, she slowly lowered herself to one knee, making herself smaller, less threatening. It was a gesture of vulnerability that every watching alien interpreted as suicidal. "Humans," breathed Dr. Zilfer, a Quelthian xenopsychologist who had spent decades studying various species. "They're insane. This confirms every hypothesis about their death world origin." But something extraordinary was happening on the planet's surface. The razorback, accustomed to fear and flight, didn't know how to process this response. Its massive head lowered, and it took a tentative step toward Lisa. Then another. Harrison held his breath as the creature's face came within inches of Lisa's. One bite, one swipe of those razor-sharp claws. That's all it would take. Lisa raised her hand slowly, palm up, in a gesture of peace. "I know what you are," she whispered. "You're an ambush predator, aren't you? You rely on fear responses, but I'm not afraid of you. I respect you." The razorback's 6 eyes blinked in sequence, a behavior never documented before. Its massive nostrils flared as it took in Lisa's scent, the chemical signature of a human unafraid. Unconcerned, genuinely calm, on the Zenthra, panic had turned to stunned silence. She's petting it," someone whispered in disbelief. Indeed. Lisa's hand had made contact with the creature's snout, moving in slow, gentle strokes. The razorback's spines, which had been partially raised in defensive posture, gradually flattened completely. A sound emerged from the creature's throat, not a growl or a threat, but something almost like a purr, though infinitely deeper and more resonant. "Impossible," Commander Vexither muttered. "We've lost 17 research teams to those creatures." "How is she?" "Because she's human," Harrison said, having patched his communication into the ship's frequency. Despite his fear, Pride swelled in his voice. "We come from Earth. We domesticated wolves into dogs. We made friends with the apex predators of our world. We looked at the most dangerous creatures on our planet and decided to keep them as companions. It's what we do." Lisa continued her gentle interaction with the razorback, speaking to it in soft tones, treating it not as a monster, but as an intelligent being worthy of respect and kindness. The creature, for its part, seemed utterly captivated. It lowered itself to the ground, allowing Lisa to examine its spines, its scales, even its fearsome teeth. "In our history," Harrison continued, "we've befriended bears, big cats, sharks, and countless other predators. We've learned that showing respect and understanding, rather than fear, often bridges the gap between species." Lisa believes that every creature, no matter how dangerous, deserves to be understood before it's judged. The aliens watched as Lisa spent the next hour with the razorback, documenting its behavior, taking samples with the creature's apparent consent, and even laughing when it playfully nudged her with its massive head, a gesture that would have pulverized most species, but merely made Lisa stumble a few steps. When Lisa finally stood to leave, the razorback did something that would change galactic understanding of the species forever. It followed her, not hunting, not stalking, following like a companion, matching her pace, occasionally making that purring rumble that seemed to indicate contentment. "Harrison," Lisa called cheerfully, "I think we're going to need to revise the classification on these guys. They're not mindless killing machines. They're intelligent, social, and apparently very affectionate once you show them you're not a threat." As Lisa and her new companion approached the landing pod, the aliens aboard the Zenthra sat in stunned silence. They had just witnessed something that would be talked about in xenobiological circles. For generations, a human, unarmed and unafraid, had befriended a creature that entire civilizations had fled from. Commander Vexither slumped in his command chair. "Remind me never to threaten Earth," he muttered. "If they can do this with an apex predator they just met, I don't want to know what they'd do to us in a real conflict." Lisa smiled at Harrison as she boarded the pod, the razorback watching from a respectful distance. "See, not so scary after all. Just misunderstood." Harrison shook his head, a mixture of exasperation and admiration on his face. "You're absolutely insane, you know that." "Maybe," Lisa grinned, "but I'm also right. And now we have a friend." The razorback roared, not in threat, but in what could only be interpreted as farewell as the pod lifted off. And across the galaxy, aliens learned a valuable lesson about humanity. They didn't see apex predators as monsters to be feared. They saw potential friends waiting to be understood.